This short podcast will look at the issue of overpopulation, looking at where is overpopulated, the causes of that overpopulation, and some of the problems of that overpopulation. We will zoom into Nigeria and use that as our example, our case study. Nigeria is in the continent of Africa, and the map on the right-hand side here shows us the areas within Nigeria that are most densely populated. And we can see there at the bottom Lagos in purple. That is a very high population density, and other areas towards the south particularly are high density populations, or where the coastline is in Nigeria. But Lagos is very, very densely populated. So why is there overpopulation? Well, there's a whole host of reasons. It can come down to a lack of available contraception within many LEDCs, particularly in rural areas. They're very badly affected. It can come down to cultural beliefs. So there are some cultures and religions that do not believe in the use of contraception, or also they believe in larger families, perhaps having larger families as a show of wealth. Often there is a high birth rate in countries because they want children to help work on the family farm or to help bring money into the family in other ways. Unfortunately as well, the issue of infant mortality. In many poorer countries, especially, the infant mortality rate, that's the number of children before the age of 5 dying, is quite high because of poor health care. And that leads in turn to a high birth rate. Families know that perhaps one child or expect one child to die before the age of 5, so they will have more. But overpopulation is more than just about the number of people. It's the number of people in relation to the number of resources that they have. So resource depletion, such as deforestation, taking away the resources of wood for building and cooking, results in overpopulation because there is a lack of resources for the number of people that are there. This high birth rate is seen when we look at a population pyramid. So this is the population pyramid for Nigeria. And of course we know that we have one side representing female, one side representing male. But we also know that we have at the bottom here a wide base, and this wide base indicates our high birth rate. So because the birth rate is high, the population pyramid has a wide base to it. And of course we need to remember that the birth rate is the number of babies born per 1,000 people in a year. That's important that we remember that accurate definition. We can see that as the population pyramid moves up, if we move into a green colour to illustrate the elderly population, there are not many elderly dependents within Nigeria. So whilst there are not many elderly dependents, there certainly is a high number of young dependents. And it is these young dependents that also causes a problem. So there are lots of young dependents, they all need places at schools, they need places perhaps for healthcare, nurseries, and facilities need to be provided for by the government. And that is a problem, particularly if there are not many economically active people in the country. And if there are limited economically active people in the country, that means the government gets less taxes. So there we have it, Nigeria with a high number of young dependents, but limited number of economically active people paying money into the government. And that's just the problems really. The problems of overpopulation go beyond that. Because there is this high population growth rate, there are a lot of people, there may well not be enough housing within certain areas, and Kano is one area where there is not enough housing for people. There will be a shortage of food and water. There's not enough of that for the people. Congested roads, such as those we saw in the opening photo in Lagos. Not enough healthcare and schools, and particularly schools for the young population. There may well be high crime rates as a problem of overpopulation. If people don't have the resources that they need, then they may turn to a life of crime to fund that or to steal resources. And sheer volume of people, leading to a large number of pollutants going into the air from vehicle fumes, fires, or just from the waste that they throw away. And that results in on the ground, such as the development of shanty towns and slums, where living conditions are very poor. Because there's not enough housing, people build their own houses, and these places are unsanitary. There is not good flushing toilet systems or clean water systems, which can lead to disease, and that lowers the life expectancy. The lack of jobs means that 60% of people in Nigeria live on less than $1 a day, which is perhaps a reason why people may well turn to crime to help fund their lives.